Right, so today we're going to review rounding decimals. This is actually the last thing that I taught you guys before we had to end school. So just like we thought we would check in with you guys on it. So here is just a great resource. If you get stuck when you're actually doing it, I would pause and read over this and have this next to you. But you find your place and you look next door. If it's 5 or greater, you add one more. So you go up to the next place value. All digits in the front stay the same. All digits behind, 0 is the name. So you add zeros on all the ones that are behind. So here's a good example. It says round 1 and 362 thousandths to the nearest hundredths. So you first find the hundredths place. The 6 is in the hundredths place. That's why they have the red line under it. Then we look next door and we find a 2. Because 2 is less than 5, the 6 will remain the same. So that 2 just becomes a 0. The 6 stays the same because of the 2. And this one down here, it says round 25 and 378 thousandths to the nearest tenth. So first we want to find the tenths place. The 3's in the tenths place. Then you look next door. Next door you have a 7. And that 7 tells us we have to go up to the next place value. So we make the 3 into a 4 like they did here. And then everything after the 4, everything after the 10th place, as it ends up being zeros. So that's how you would that's just the rules you go beyond. So let me then show you a couple examples. All right, so this first one over here says round the nearest tenth. So we have 9 and 81 hundredths. So we're rounding it to the nearest tenth. If you're not sure about the place values of them, then you're going to want to make sure that you add these in the place value. So I'm going to write 9 here because that's in the ones. Then we have the decimal point. Then we have an 8. And then we have a 1. So the 8 is in the tenths place. So we look next door to tell us what to do with it. And next door is a 1. So this 1 becomes a 0, and your answer is just, it won't let me write on that one. The answer for that one would be 9.8. That would be the answer for this one. When it says round to the nearest whole number, that means you're getting rid of the decimal. So if I add this number, 66 and 944 thousandths, I'm going to put it in the chart. The nearest whole number, that means I'm the same thing as rounding to the nearest ones. So 6, got 9, got 4, and another 4. So if I'm rounding the nearest whole number, I'm looking next door. So I'm going to look at the 9. The 9 tells me that I have to round the 6 up to a 7. So this answer would just be 67. That's the nearest whole number. You're getting rid of those decimals. So I'll show you guys one more. So it says to the nearest hundredth for this one, and this one's 94 and 855 thousandths. So I've put in the place value chart. So put it in. Oh, that's going to get crazy on me, these numbers. There's a 5 here. All right. So I'm going to be rounding the nearest hundredth. So my hundredth place is right here. So I have to look next door. Next door, I have an extra 5. That's a 5 right there. And the 5 tells me that this 5 needs to go up. So everything, I end up with 9, 4. This is all the things on the left side of the number you're rounding stay the same. So 8. This in the hundredths place there was a 5. I'm rounding up to a 6 because the next door was a 5. So that ends up being my answer. Please reach out if you need more examples. I can always make more examples for you on the video. And I hope you guys have a nice Tuesday.